Hello everyone, welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I am Washington Gun Law President William Kirk, and thanks for joining us. Hey, in our ongoing series of short videos where we're trying to take the complex set of laws, that is the RCWs and the self-defense laws in Washington State, break them down into nice, easy bits, simple to digest and understand for all you lawful and responsible gun owners, I thought we'd take a couple minutes today and talk about another common question that I get all the time, which is, can I use deadly force against the home intruder in Washington State? All right, you guys all know the drill here. You've done this before. If you like this video, go ahead and click the like button down below. If you want to stay up to date on all issues related to your Second Amendment rights on a statewide, nationwide level, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. If you click the little bell logo down below, you'll be notified when we post most new videos. And then most importantly, let's keep the comments coming down in the comment section. Keep the questions coming. These types of comments and questions and dialogue actually helps the YouTube algorithm, helps get our video out there to more lawful and responsible gun owners, and helps us start building what I hope to be a very large online community of lawful and responsible gun owners that can share ideas and thoughts about how to protect our Second Amendment rights. So, very common question that I get. Can I shoot a home intruder? If someone's coming through my back door, if someone's coming through my kitchen window at night, can I shoot them? Now, I'm going to start with the disclaimer right here. If you tuned into this video thinking you're going to get some bright line answer and that I'm going to be authorizing when you can pull the trigger, I'm sorry, you've come to the wrong place. So my disclaimer is I'm going to tell you how the law applies and then how you can operate within the law. I am not here to advocate for violence, even if it is completely justifiable violence. I am not here advocating or encouraging people to shoot other people, even if lawfully justified. Those are decisions that are made on a case-by-case basis by the people who are in that situation. What you need to do as a lawful and responsible gun owner is to keep educating yourself, not only about the law, like you're doing by watching these videos, but also about tactical decisions and other things that you need to take into account if encountering a dangerous situation. And that's where your licensed NRA instructors, your range masters, there's a lot of good qualified people out there. That's where they can train you in that expertise. So the issue is, can I use deadly force against the home intruder? Well, if we've gone back and we've looked at some of the other short videos that we've done, we know that the use of force in Washington in general, if we're going to use force for self-defense, it must be necessary. That is, we don't have any other reasonable means by which to defend ourselves. It must be reasonable. That is, that a similar person in the same situation as you would have felt the need to use the force also. So it is both a subjective and objective standard, and it must be reasonable. And then finally, the use of force must be proportional. That is, we can only use as much force as necessary to repel the force that's being brought upon us. Now, when it comes to the use of deadly force, we know that the rule of law is generally that deadly force may not be used in self-defense unless the individual reasonably believes that they are an imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury. And so, yes, I have said before, can you use deadly force to defend only your property? Well, no matter how much that property means to you, either from a true financial level or from a sentimental value, your person, your life is not in facing imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury if your property is being destroyed. Do you have the right to use force to defend the property? Absolutely. Do you have the right to use deadly force to defend the property? No, you don't. That would be disproportional. And so the rule of law is that deadly force can never, ever be used to defend property. So what about the home burglar, the home invader who comes in the middle of the night? He doesn't really mean any harm to you or anyone else in the house. He just wants to take the big screen TV and the jewelry. The problem is do you know that? Do you have time to find out? Do you have time to sit down and conduct an interview of the would-be burglar to see what his true intentions are? If he's there to harm you and your family, then and only then you deploy lethal force. But if he's just there to take the big screen, do you just go back to bed and let him take the big screen? Well, the answer to this question, if you want to know how the law applies, is found in RCW 9A.16.050, subsection 1, and predominantly and primarily in subsection 2. Now, subsection 1 of that statute reads as follows. Homicide is also justifiable when committed either 1. In the lawful defense of the slayer, or his or her husband, wife, parent, child, brother, or sister, or any other person in their presence or company, when there is reasonable ground to apprehend a design on the part of the person slain to commit a felony or to do some great personal injury to the slayer or any such person, and there is imminent danger of such design being accomplished. And so that's a fancy way of saying, listen, if you believe that you or anyone else in your presence is an imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury, yes, you have the right to use deadly force. But the real answer, I think, to this question comes in subsection 2 of the statute. It reads as follows. Homicide is also justifiable when committed either, 2, in the actual resistance of an attempt to commit a felony upon the slayer, in his or her presence, or upon or in a dwelling or other place of abode in which he or she is. And so what that statute is saying is you also have the right to use deadly force if a felony is being committed in your presence, in your place of abode or dwelling. When we get to the home burglar, the home intruder coming into the home late at night, they are committing a felony immediately upon entering the home. That is the felony of residential burglary. That is a felony that is being committed in your presence and in your dwelling. So, could lethal force be used in that situation? Yes, it could. I'm not saying it is justified, but it certainly could be justified. Now, please differentiate this from the person who may be trespassing onto the property but has not entered the home or even shown a desire to enter the home. Yes, they are trespassing. Yes, they are committing a crime. Yes, you may feel threatened. And yes, you probably have the right to use some reasonable and proportional force to get them off your property. It probably starts with a verbal warning and then physically removing if that doesn't work. But criminal trespass does not place you or anyone else in your home in imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury. But when they break the barrier of the home and they're coming inside, especially if they've been told that they are not welcome inside, I think at that point we realize that the level of force that you now are repelling has exponentially increased, and therefore the level of force that you may need to deploy to defend yourself has probably also exponentially increased. And finally, as I said in many of these other videos, there is a difference between what you have the right to do and what is doing the right thing. And so this is on a case-by-case basis. I oftentimes talk about what the law gives you the right to do. However, what the law gives you the right to do and what you should do, what you can do and what you should do, can sometimes and oftentimes has a different answer to that inquiry. I can assure you, having represented many people who have lawfully pulled the trigger with absolute justification, they faced no criminal liability, but the personal, financial, emotional, and spiritual fallout that came from it was immeasurable. So, in summary, can you use deadly force to stop a home intruder? In many instances, the answer would be yes. Am I going to give you a bright line rule and say you can use it all the time? No, because all uses of self-defense always have to be analyzed on a case-by-case basis using both an objective and subjective standard. Listen, you may have more questions about defending yourself from home intruders or anything else related to your right of self-defense or your Second Amendment rights, and if you do, don't ever hesitate to contact us at WashingtonGunLaw.com, or of course you can call us directly at 425-765-0487. Listen, part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.